Hello everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. I originally make this video about first dates and making a good impression on people, but I might be going on another one soon, so I'll probably just wait to make that video after that. Today's topic, why mental health matters more than your physical health. I'd like to preface this saying that both your physical and mental are very important to achieving your goals. And if you couldn't tell by now, this entire channel is just me talking about trying to reach your goals. Not that that's a bad thing. I just kind of want to have more general talks and not just, goal setting. But when it comes to mental health, personally, I've always been kind of a happy guy. I do have my bouts of depression, but it's never really it's never been chronic or super serious to the point of, impeded my life in any which way. But I remember around this time, about a year ago, it was probably the worst that I've, been mentally. I have kind of mild OCD. I know it could be really bad for some people, but it's I feel like mine's seasonal. It happens at the beginning of summer each year, where I just get these terrible thoughts that I just don't really want. But everyone gets those. And so I feel like that's kind of the best way to deal with it. Just saying they're just thoughts and, they'll pass. Watch any video on OCD and you'll get the rundown. I don't really want to delve into that today. I don't think I'll even delve into it at all. I feel like it's a little too personal. But when I was feeling that way, I just didn't have, the motivation to work out. I just kind of stopped and I gained so much weight. I gained about 40 pounds. I was 220 pounds this time last year. Around there. I just stopped working out. I would eat full Little Debbie pastries like those. I think my favorite ones that I would eat would be Honey Buns. Those aren't Little Debbie's. But I would eat Honey Buns and I would eat zebra cakes. Oh my God, they were so good. But it was just, I tend to binge eat when and yo-yo kind of. Back then I'd lock in for a day or two and then eat the whole pack of the pastries, or I'd eat a whole box of donuts and I would feel terrible. It's not healthy at all. Terrible for your mental and physical health. So now you know a little bit more about me, OCD, binge eating, whatnot. But I'm not on any medication or anything. It's not something I can't control. It's a lack of willpower from me personally. I know it's different for some people, and I completely get, the whole, medicine to help and stuff. But I was able to personally overcome it. For the most part, it's not something you really overcome. It's kind of like an addiction in a way. It doesn't ever really go away. It's there. You just have to find better ways of coping with it. And I know what really helped me the most, especially with the OCD. It's just, like I said, it's seasonal. But I was on a kick for a good bit. It just wouldn't let me go. I was in the jaws of despair for a good bit. It's just, I know a lot of YouTube videos helped. Just identifying what was wrong with me at the moment was what helped the most. I didn't really want to fall victim to a, confirmation bias. That's what it's called. I know personally that helped me out with it. Just being able to know what it is and to do my own kind of routine and work around it. I think this also circles back to my previous video about support systems. My ex now girlfriend at the time, she told me that she had the exact, problem too, the OCD topic and the type of OCD, except mine's a much more mild form. I don't want to overplay, what it was, but it was pretty bad. It had me pretty terrible. But, having that person to help me out and just tell me, you're normal and those thoughts are just, just thoughts. It's just what they are. I know that's one of the things she really helped me with. And a lot more people are struggling than you think. I think everyone has their own issues. It's just most people aren't really willing to talk about it that much because it paints people in a negative light. You see people differently when they tell you these things. That's just how it is. And for any future employers, if you're watching this, it's all joke. No, it's okay. It's just me. But getting back on topic, you have to be able to make sure you're mentally healthy enough in order to focus on your physical health. Especially when it comes to locking in the gym. Training is only about I'd say 33% of it. So it's like a third of how important it is. And your other 2/3 is your diet. Your diet is incredibly important. The feeling you get when you're eating healthy, you get that, the long-term kind of good feel of I'm eating healthy and I feel good. And then I think you rest better. I know when I wake up in the morning after eating really healthy, I just feel more energized. So you get good sleep, good feeling, and you're gonna have good workouts too, especially if you understand kind of the science behind carbs and how you can carb max, eating really fast digesting carbs right before your workout, longer digesting carbs in the morning and the evening. Just look it up on YouTube. It's really simple concept to understand. But I know there's still some people who are really functional even with some terrible mental health. I know personally that whenever I'm having my bouts of depression or whatever, that my physical takes a good toll. Your mindset is what sets you apart from other people. It sets your work apart from other people's work. And it's kind of just what drives you to be different. When I had mono a couple weeks ago, my mindset was terrible. It was just try to survive, I guess. I would try to work through having the sickness when I should have taken days off. I would try my CPA prep. I would sit there for an hour and do nothing, and just my brain was just fried from being sick, and I just wouldn't let myself rest. My mental and motivation was just at low, but I still tried working it. You gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them, I guess. I should have folded. And now that I'm, healthy again, I'm getting work done. I'm feeling great mentally and physically. And I just know I'm going to be reaching my peak soon, I'd say a year and a half ago, I was at my physical peak. I'll insert a photo here. I was 165 on the cut. I wanted to go lower, but I said in an earlier video that just I would cheat so hard on my meals that I just couldn't get lower. But right now I'm about 180. This is what I look like. Having the right mindset, right motivation, and already having those pre-established habits, they are just a recipe for you to explode in growth, and your quality of work will skyrocket. Just really keep your mental in mind when it comes to trying to be the best version of yourself. It's a lot more important than people think. But that's all I got. If you want to talk, put it in the comments. I'm probably going to make that email this weekend if you guys want to send me anything. But deuces.